All right, Antelope Valley High School District students. Super excited to be here with all of you. My name is Ever Velasquez, and I work for Schools First Credit Union in the Financial Education Department. And today we're going to have a mini financial literacy game slash crash course. We're going to discuss a few different topics through the game. So I'll kind of get a pulse or a sense of what you already know as far as personal finance, banking, credit, and then there'll also be some learning opportunities with through the game. So give you all about a minute or so to join the game. So if you're wondering what the questions are going to be like, these will be multiple choice. You can just take your best guess. One of my things is I think we learn through making mistakes. So while we may not answer the question correctly, after we do know what the correct answer is, and that's a learning opportunity. So that's what kind of makes this fun. So just go ahead and try your best. If you don't know the answer to the question, just take your best educated guess. Some of these questions will have multiple answers, so be sure to read all the options. All right, so it looks like we show 82 participants in the Zoom call and over 90 here in the class. You may all be sharing some devices, so that's probably why that number's off a little bit. That's okay. The more the merrier. Give you about another 30 seconds or so to join the game. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Question number one, a credit union. All right, 66 of you got this answer correct. So a credit union is a financial institution similar to like a bank. Um, they offer very similar products and services like savings accounts and checking accounts and loans, mortgages, credit cards. But how they're different sort of starts at the top, like how they're structured, how they operate. Banks are for-profit financial institutions. Credit unions are not-for-profit financial institutions. Credit unions usually serve a common bond of people. So, for example, Schools First, we serve school employees in the state of California. Navy Federal Credit Union, which is the largest credit union in our country, they serve military personnel and their immediate family members. So, and then there's other credit unions that are more community based, or as long as you live in that city or county, you're eligible to join them. So being not-for-profit, credit unions are great to do your banking because you benefit from lower interest rates on the loans in the future, higher interest payouts or dividends, we call them. For you, that's like free money for to help you grow your funds, and then low to no fees on account services. So really, credit unions are great, not for profits but for service. So I would really strongly encourage all of you to look into credit unions in your area when you decide to open an account. Okay, question number two, a savings account. Ooh, this one was one of those multiple choice, multiple answer questions. So savings account is a goal-oriented saving. It's a goal-oriented account. It's intended to help us save for financial goals. So if you want to save for, let's just say, a down payment to buy a brand new car, or you want to save up for a vacation, you want to go to Hawaii or Europe or wherever. Of course, it's going to take some time and funds to realize that. So we got a plan, right? And while we're saving and planning, the best way to store our money is going to be that savings account, where we're earning interest or dividends. So our money's working for us, and it's growing. And one of the best tips that I can recommend to all of you when it comes to um, saving is to consider having multiple savings accounts for different goals you have. So have a savings account for that down payment on the car you want to buy. Have a savings account for that vacation you want to take. Have an emergency savings account to save for unexpected expenses, which financial experts recommend 3 to 6 months worth of basic living expenses in an emergency fund. So that is how we can use these as the tools to help us organize our funds, to help us um, track our money, to help us grow our money. All right. What is a checking account? Great question, Kai. Are there any pros, cons as far as having multiple savings accounts? I would say you check with the financial institution. Um, as far as any fees associated with the account, some financial institutions charge additional fees to have extra savings accounts. So in that, if that's the case, maybe it doesn't make sense. But I know with credit unions, in my experience with credit unions and our credit union, for example, we allow our members to have up to 99 different additional savings account at no cost. So if there's fees involved, then maybe it's not going to make sense. But hopefully you can get some look into free accounts so that you don't have to worry about paying any surcharges. Great question. So now the other type of account that we have is the checking account, and this is what we consider a transactional account. So anyone who has a debit card, if you have a debit card right now, that means you have a checking account. And this account is intended and used for spending, for transacting, for paying bills, for helping you receive payments as well. If you get a job in the future, your employer many times can directly deposit your paycheck into your account electronically, so if that's something that is an option for you in the future, definitely sign up for it. But a very essential account. I mean, this makes life so much easier in terms of paying for things and paying bills and allowing others to pay us. All right, next question. The earlier you start saving, the better it is for you because very good. 83 of you got this correct. So a couple reasons why we want to start saving earlier rather than later is, for one, more time means more compound interest you will earn. So that means our money is sitting there and allowing to compound, to grow, or our earnings as far as interest, then start earning interest themselves. So it just sort of keeps building. So time is on your side. You are young. Don't put this off until you're old and gray, but start saving the earlier the better because it means it's more money you're going to have in the end. Okay, so consistently saving for those financial goals. And you know what? Don't focus so much on the dollar amount, but focus on just the act of saving, right? Is getting used to saving consistently, whether it's weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. The dollar amount, you don't focus so much on that, even if it's $5 a week or $10, whatever you can do, just getting used to the act of saving. That's the biggest thing I want you guys to walk away from that. All right, question number 5. If you do not have enough money in your checking account to cover a transaction, it could cause. All right, 73 of you answered this correctly. So if you don't have enough money in your checking account to cover a transaction, say you go to the store and you buy something, you swipe your debit card. If you don't have the funds in your checking account available, what happens? What's the consequence? Well, your account gets taken into the negative. That's called an overdraft, okay? And the consequence of that is an overdraft fee, which is about $35 on average. And that's expensive, right? Imagine how, for most, a lot of people, $35, that can be, 2 hours worth of work. So we don't want to, we want to keep track of our funds. We want to use online banking, mobile banking, so we know how much is in our accounts at all times. We know what's going to come through, what's pending. So we have to be on top of that. And then something else that can happen is if we're writing checks, right? Because that's another way that we can transact against our checking account is we can, checks are not used as much now, but we can give someone a check or a company to pay for a bill or whatnot. And if we don't have the funds available in our checking account for that check to clear, there's a fee for that, and that's about $25. So again, making sure that we're using online banking, we're leveraging that, so that we know what's going on in our account at all times. All right, question number 6. A budget is. Very good. A budget is a plan for your income and expenses. So a budget is one of the best things that I can recommend for all of you to be successful with reaching your goals, to have financial wellness, um, to have organization when it comes to your money, to take control of your money so that your money doesn't control you. Hopefully that makes sense. But doing so, using a budget is making sure that you're on the same page, that you know exactly what your bills are, when everything is due, how much you're spending in certain categories, how much you're spending on food, what is your fixed expenses like rent, maybe cell phone bill, insurance. So first you got to figure out, okay, what am I bringing in monthly? Okay, that goes at the top. All you need is a pencil and a paper, right? Write in, this is my monthly income. Right underneath that, you're going to subtract all of your expenses. So rent, food, gas, clothing, entertainment, all of these different areas. There's a lot of tools that can help you sort of categorize these. There's apps out there that you can download that help you do all of this tracking, to help you organize your funds in this way. But seeing it on paper just gives you more clarity and control over what's going on, and make you realize if you're spending a lot in a certain category, if you're spending more than what you're earning, then you can make some conscious decisions, right? Maybe I need to cut back, not go to Starbucks every day, or maybe I don't need to spend that much money on clothes. Because what you're looking to do is you're looking to have a surplus budget. You're looking to have excess funds. You're looking to spend less than what you earn so that you can take the leftovers, save, and invest into your goals. Okay. Um, so I think we're gonna have to cut it here because I know I've kind of gone over the scheduled time here. But hopefully this was all some, some good tips and best practices for you all. I want to encourage all of you to go to our website, schoolsfirstfcu.org. Go under our advice tab. Even if you're not a member of the credit union, this is open to everyone, to all the communities we serve, and we have a lot of self-paced modules, videos, tips. It's our financial education page. So if you have more questions, feel free to look at our content on there. There's a lot of really good information for all of you who want to learn more about money management and personal finance. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. I want to thank you all for hosting me today, and hopefully this was very helpful to you all. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Velasquez. I appreciate you for your time today, sir. Thank you so much for joining today. And everyone, have a great day.